Hello friends, I'm Raz, and in today's video I'm going to share with you an IELTS speaking cue card, which is describe an educational trip you went on in your school days. You should say where was the trip, what you did and what you learned, who went with you, and explain how you felt the trip. So let me present an ideal answer that can help you score 8+ band score. Though I went on many educational trips, the first such trip that I took was very exciting and most memorable for me. I was in grade 7 and the school arranged a trip to the National Zoo in our capital city. My parents were adamant initially, but later on they talked to my teachers and agreed to let me go. My excitement and thrilling thus began even before I went on the trip. It was the first time I went to a capital city, and everything I saw and observed was new and exciting to me. It was like a new land in a different part of the world. I saw skyscrapers, busy streets, people of various ethnicity and costumes, and I was amazed to learn and observe so many things. Our history teacher was with us on this trip, and she described a long history of the city and its tradition. We had 4 teachers, 2 administrative officers, and around 20 classmates with us. Few parents also went with their children. I saw some English people for the first time in my life, and they talked to us for a while and gave us some delicious chocolates. That was a whole new experience for me. After we reached the zoological garden, I was elated to be at a place I've seen on TV and read about it in the newspapers. It was a very large place, and there were a lot of animals, birds and other species. I learned about the animals from a tour guide, and he described the characteristics and other facts about many animals and birds in details. We walked for about 2 hours to see the animals kept in the zoo, and we ate our lunch at around 2:30 p.m. The lessons I learned about the wild animals, how they are getting extinct, and what we should do to save them were very elaborate. This trip helped me a lot to learn about a large city as well as the animals and birds. There were more than 200 species in the zoo, including tigers, lions, crocodiles, elephants, mountain gorillas, peacocks, and monkeys. I've never seen many of these animals and birds before, and that was an excellent opportunity for me to learn about them. So let me present an ideal answer too now. I studied in dash school. Every year, our school organizes educational trips for students. When I was in 10th grade, I went on one such school trip. It was a one-day trip to Pushpa Gujral Science City in Kapurthala, Punjab. This is an interactive museum. I remember we were 30 students and 2 teachers. Our school had arranged a bus, and we had to assemble in our school at 7 a.m. We were all very thrilled and reached there before time. The bus was already there, and we all took our seats. It was only a 1-hour journey, but that 1 hour passed very soon. We were all enjoying and playing Antakshari. It is a song game in which each team has to start the song with the last syllable of the previous song. Once we reached the museum, we were all made to stand in a queue, and our teachers bought the tickets. Then we went inside. However, I vividly remember I was awestruck to see all those beautiful things inside the museum. First, we took a ride in the earthquake simulator. It was a bit scary, but we all enjoyed it. Then we saw the laser show. After that, we saw a 3D movie on the first aeroplane by Wright brothers. Later on, we saw in many interactive chemistry and physics experiments. Eventually, we went to the Dome Theatre and saw a movie there. The Dome Theatre in this museum is the second biggest in the world. There we saw also the models of human beings through various stages of evolution. Till lunchtime, we had finished all that. Then we all had lunch in a cafe which was in the museum only. After lunch, we were amazed to astonishment when we visited the dinosaur park. It was such a flabbergasting experience, and I remember we climbed on many dinosaurs and clicked numerous pictures. Finally, we did boating there. This educational tour to the museum is something I will always remember. I wish we had more such educational trips during school days. My cousin is coming to stay with us for a week with her children. I've planned to take my nephew and niece to the museum. I'm sure they will all enjoy as much as I did. Alright, so moving on to the follow-up questions. The first one is, what are some suitable places for school students to go for an educational visit? You can say there are many suitable places for students to take for educational trips, such as zoo, aquarium, or planetarium. Field trips provide students with a non-threatening, fun learning experience. They can get first-hand contact and real-life experience from professionals in all different fields. For example, a trip to a history museum can teach children about their rich and illustrious culture in a way that appeals to all senses. Plus, there are employees who know all of the details about the artifacts that they are presenting. Next question. What do you think are the benefits of taking children to visit places where they can learn something? One benefit of taking field trips is to allow students a break in the daily routine, to provide many wonderful memories and to explore their own education through a new set of eyes. They will also be able to better recall what they've learned. Field trips provide great hands-on learning opportunities as well as personal interaction with experts. Our children actually learn best when they are able to interact with their lesson plan and visually see how things work. The next question, what role do you think the teacher should play on these school excursions? It takes a lot of work to organize a trip for an entire group, so a teacher should be mindful of how he or she coordinates it. The teacher should prepare lesson plans and a main goal or purpose for every trip. Permission forms should be made for parents and collected by the teacher. The teacher should also pay attention to deadlines and when upfront payment is required. Teacher is responsible for the kids, even if there are moms or dads in attendance. Next question, what are some examples of places where parents could take their children for an educational visit? There are a number of places for parents to take their children for educational trips. Museums are a typical place for people to learn interesting facts, but children can also learn so much from other destination spots as well. A more unconventional place to take kids, especially for children who are raised in the city, would be a farm or an orchard. Children can learn about agriculture and the lives of the farmers that grow the food that we eat. They can also learn the process of how food products get from the rural areas to big cities. The next question, do you think children can study at home? I believe children can study at home if a parent makes a serious effort to keep the student interested and learning. There are some advantages to homeschooling as well. Parents have direct supervision on what the child is studying firsthand, and you can make sure the child is learning at his or her pace. Parents can ensure overall safety of the child at all times and can also get tutors to teach special skills to their child, such as foreign languages. Parents can make sure their child eats healthy and nutritious meals at home. One of the disadvantages maybe is that the child is missing interaction with kids his or her age. Next question, in the home, how do you think parents can help their children learn? Most parents do not have the know-how or the specialism of certain subjects to teach their child at home. But if they do enough research and the right materials are used, I think it can be useful. Plus, for certain subjects deemed to be difficult, they can get a tutor for their child so that they can get special attention. In fact, many children have benefited greatly from homeschooling and have tested better than students in public schools. If the parent stays dedicated and keeps a good schedule, I believe it is definitely possible and maybe even better for the child. So thank you so much, friends, for watching this video. Keep watching more IELTS speaking cue card videos and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Thank you. Bye.